I went to visit a very unique building in Collingswood that is steeped in history. It's had a lot of names over the years, like the Hurley Mansion or the Scottish Rite Auditorium. It's almost 200 years old, and over that time, it's been repaired, renovated, and added on to. It's a beauty. Jerry Chambers runs the place. He's taking me on a tour.
This room is a library for the Masons, a lot of memorabilia we have, a lot of the collectibles for many, many years. When they took over in 1931, this collection came about from God only knows how long ago and from where.
Yeah, so how old is the building?
The building is 1850. A lot of noted people, such as Mr. Collings, as in Collingswood, were involved with this process of building it.
Who are the current owners?
Well, current owner now is the Masons.
Okay.
The last family to live here was the Hurley family until 1930. Actually, Mr. Hurley died in 1928, and he's the interesting character that hangs around the ghost.
Oh, yeah, he's the ghost.
He's the ghost. Yeah, he likes to hang out here and just tantalize, we'll say. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't cause trouble. I've yet to meet him, but a lot of people have met him.
Really?
And pretty interesting.
What's he do?
He just comes and walks around and checks out what's going on. Every once in a while, you'll have a door close, a light go on. He'll just stand sometimes in certain doorways. This has been reported to me. I've never witnessed it.
Really?
But yes, the story goes because he was a devout Catholic.
Yes.
And actually Fourth Degree Knights of Columbus.
Okay.
And his wife, when he passed away, Sarah, sold this to the Masons. And the Masons and the Catholics weren't quite getting along so well at that time.
So
he just wants to see what's going on and why.
In his house.
Right.
Oh,
exactly.
my.
So actually my office was his bedroom.
Really? Yeah. So is he there a lot?
He goes in and out. But I guess usually when I'm there, he stays out.
There you go.
You know,
that's good. That helps you work, I would think.
Exactly. Well, hopefully, yes, as far as that goes. But it's quite interesting.
What's your favorite part of the house? What do you think is the most
beautiful
beautiful
part
thing?
of the house? The most beautiful thing, I think, is the staircase. Okay, it's got an incredible staircase. And the stairs just actually wrap. It's not quite a total, like a spiral, but it's a beautiful wrap that would probably cost, God only knows how much money to build today, if you could find somebody to construct that.
And why did they build a theater?
This is the headquarters of the South Jersey Order of the Scottish Rite Masons.
Okay.
So this is where I basically say where people who are involved with the men that are involved with Masons, okay, where they would get their master's degree or their doctorate degree. Okay. In a lot of the local towns, they have the York Rite, which where you would get our bachelor's there. So they come here for your master's and your doctorate. And what they do is their teachings, you know what I'm saying, are like through biblical times, and they need the production of the theater to do this. Okay. And that's why the theater, and then obviously with below that is the ballroom.
They built a ballroom?
Yes, they built the ballroom, okay, for the social end of it. At one point, you know, it was just all men, but then eventually women were invited, you know what I'm saying, to come.
And it didn't look like this ballroom.
No, it did not. Not even close. I basically coined it to be a sanitary, like looking at a cafeteria that would be in a sanatorium. Like you
and that was their social place.
Yes.
Okay.
And I often wonder, like the walls were painted aquamarine. Like what Mason picked up aquamarine as the color?
I'm sure they didn't call it aquamarine at that time.
No, they probably called it just green.
The building is filled with breathtaking stained glass windows. One window that sits on a breezeway between the mansion and the theater was saved and moved when a wall had to come down for expansion.
We are on stage.
Wow, this is beautiful. The theater isn't open in the summer because there is no air conditioning, but in the winter, you can see some pretty popular concerts.
We've had Joan Byers, Michael McDonald, Kansas, Kenny Loggins, just to name a few, and then we also have a very active Collingswood Community Theater group, which performs here, which is great.
How many seats are there?
There's 1,015 fixed seats. When we have concerts, we add another 36 to the pit, so that gives us 1,051.
That's really big.
Yep, and there's really not a bad seat in the house.
So tell me, what is your relationship, the township's relationship with the ballroom and the theater?
Well, I'm the lucky guy that's director of the Collingswood Foundation for the Arts. Our mayor, James Malley, as well as the commissioner, Joan Leonard, and Lou Capelli at the time, forged a 50-year lease back in the year 2003 with the Masons who still own the property. Actually, they saved this beautiful facility from the wrecking ball.
Oh, I can't imagine this being torn down.
I couldn't either, and unfortunately, there were several Masons that thought that it would be the best thing to get rid of it. But there was people like your Jim Malley saying, let's make it happen, and we did.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Because it's really beautiful. Even the windows are beautiful.
Yeah. Stained glass.
And the ceiling.
The seats are all original too. They're all made out of a high-grade velvet. And like I say, very comfortable seats. As far as that goes, it's tiered. Typically a theater, it's sloped.
I didn't even notice that.
So you really don't have any obstructions, in front of you.
So what's the upkeep like? Because it's old.
Never ending. Unfortunately, it was neglected for a lot of years, so we're playing catch up. The maintenance is constant. I would imagine, as far as the number of people in my tenure here, probably in excess of 500,000.
So how often are you here?
I'm here a lot, as far as that goes, because this place, it could be 7 days a week. We want to keep it going. It just moves right along beautifully. Some of the comments from people, performers, like we just recently had Michael McDonald, and he said to me that it was his pleasure to play in such a sweet venue. I also had Mr. David Crosby one night sitting down in the dressing room say to me in his raspy voice, "Jerry, this is the coolest place I've ever played."
Really?
And I said, "Can I have that as a tagline?" So I went through his legal and we have that.
Wow.
So it really makes it all worthwhile when you hear that
Yeah.
and people respond to it. It's a very intimate theater where your performer's connecting to the audience and vice versa.
The township and the Masons have been working for years to keep this historical building alive. It's a major undertaking, but the results have been simply spectacular.